we're right on schedule, and we have Jason Tavoularis from IBM's offering management team here to wrap us up with a presentation around what's coming up in Cognos Analytics version 11.2. And I know we have lots of Cognos fans on the phone here, so I'm sure we'll be very excited to hear about what's coming. With that, Jason, the ball's in your court to share your screen and take it away. Jason, we need you to come off mute. Hang on one second. I see you talking, but not hearing you. So, Annie, can we help get him off mute?
I'm not seeing Jason's audio connected.
All right, well, let's work through that technical difficulty. Jason, there's a call-in number you can use as well. Yeah, you're talking, we can't hear you. Let me put the call-in number in the chat.
You hear me now?
Oh,
yes,
there
we
you
can
go.
hear you now.
Okay, sorry.
Perfect, thank you.
All right, I'm all good. Sorry, I was starting to, it looked like it was green on the audio, but okay, let me go back to sharing. So I'm going to give you all a roadmap update, and then we're going to have some time for questions at the end. So I thought I'd start just reminding everyone that the different ways to deploy Cognos, these aren't changing in the future. You can deploy where you host the Cognos servers yourself, either on premise or in infrastructure as a service on AWS or Azure. You can also use Cognos as a service where you don't have to worry about Cognos servers. You just open up your web browser and connect to a Cognos instance that IBM hosts for you. And then, of course, we're also available on CloudPak as a cartridge, so you can connect to other IBM data and AI services and deploy a number of them at scale really easily. I think you already heard about CloudPak, so I won't spend too much time on that. Just a quick reminder, the latest version of Cognos that has been released today is 11.1.7. It is a really strong release, a lot of new features around automating and embedding Cognos functionality, some significant improvements to the user experience. Just in general, a really strong release that I recommend you upgrading to if you're not there already. It is a long-term support release. What we mean by that is periodically we identify a version of Cognos that's deemed a long-term support release, meaning for a minimum of 2 years, we're going to regularly release fix packs that address any new security vulnerabilities that were reported, bugs that were reported by our customers, and update compatibility with things like data sources and stuff that were already supported, just to support the latest version. So for those of you who can't upgrade your Cognos servers too often, these long-term support releases are really great because you can still do those minimal updates for compatibility and security updates without the risk of changing the user experience or when we add new features. I know sometimes it can be a lot to consider. So these long-term support releases are really great for that. Now, what I'm going to be talking about is what's coming in the future. So I do need to put up this disclaimer reminding you this is software development, plans change, and especially timelines. So I'm going to try and give you set your expectations as best as I can for when different updates to Cognos will come out. But those plans do change as development progresses. So like I said, the latest version of Cognos that's already out there is this Fix Pack 2, the second Fix Pack for 11.1.7. You can download it from Fix Central. Now we aren't planning another Fix Pack for 11.1.7. There will be one Fix Pack 3, but it won't come out until after we release the next major release of Cognos. All hands on deck right now are focused on wrapping this up. I'm going to give you a little demo of that. That's 11.2.0. So right now, our best expectation is 11.2.0 will be available for you to download and upgrade your Cognos environments roughly around April Maybe it'll go to May or something, but we're looking good for April as of now. And then there will be a fixed pack 3 for 11.17. Probably a little bit before the summer, maybe May or June. And then we do expect to have an 11.2.1 feature release sometime this summer. What you should expect beyond that is 11.2.2, 11.2.3, new versions of Cognos coming out with new features and functionality, just like what you saw throughout 11.0 and 11.1. I'm going to pause here just to see if there's any questions so far. Okay, I'll keep going. If folks are entering questions through text, we'll have a little bit of time at the end. I know I have about half an hour here, so I'll make sure there's some time at the end to answer any of these questions. Likewise, this past summer we released a brand new mobile app. It's the one that you see on the top of the screen, really geared at phones. So it came out first for iPhones, and now it's also available on Android. This is in addition to the other ways to access Cognos through mobile, whether it's by opening up a browser on your tablet or through using the reporting app, which is primarily geared at active reports. So the new phone app, like I said, it's available now on Android and iOS. Today for 11.17, you can only access it through Cognos as SaaS, cloud Cognos servers. But coming soon, we are on track for March. You'll be able to download a special update to 11.17 Fixed Pack 2 that would allow you to connect your phone apps to that environment. Once we have FP3, it'll also have the updates. So this is just a one-time thing, just to allow you to connect the new phone experience to your Cognos servers on 11.17 as soon as possible. Meanwhile, for 11.2.0, it's built into the server. So no additional server download you need. You just use the phone, either punching in through the phone app the URL to your Cognos environment, or follow the QR code that you can get from your Cognos environment as well to connect your apps to it. So 11.2.0 is the next major release of Cognos, really coming out soon. I'm going to do a demo in a second. The biggest thing happening in this release is we've revamped the user experience of Cognos, primarily on what I'll call the portal and the content navigation. I'm going to show you this in a second. And the real impetus for this was, we want to accelerate having the user experience of Cognos, adopting the IBM Carbon design system. If you Google our IBM Carbon, you can get to a website where you can see what I'm talking about, and actually even download your own UI toolkit for Carbon if you want to extend Cognos and have the same look and feel. The Carbon design system is basically a set of standards for the user experiences, covering things like fonts, colors, styles, layouts, a lot of UX design patterns, OK, cancel menus, breadcrumb navigation, what should empty states look like, what should disabled states look like, these types of things. So we've been really pushing forward at adopting the standard across all IBM cloud data and AI products. So we saw this before, particularly if you're using Cloud Pak, it's a really great way to deploy a number of integrated data and AI services. They're all going to have the same look and feel. You'll be well acclimatized moving from one to another. And I think where it will really help accelerate the delivery of new innovation in products like Cognos is now, our designers and developers can focus on, the unique aspects of analyzing data and visualizing data in Cognos, right? That kind of richer data analytical capabilities without, all of us spending time for, commoditized things like fonts and colors, OK and cancel buttons, these types of things. We're just inheriting them from the standard. So there's some key economies of scales there that also will help us, move faster moving forward. Beyond that UX revamp, there are some other features in it. So one, like I said, you can just connect right to the server from the new mobile app. This is also the release where we're introducing support for OLAP cubes, including those in planning analytics, and also transformer power cubes from our AI assistant. Where you can ask natural language questions and get responses. This AI assistant is a big investment area for us. So, moving forward as of this release, cubes will work equally well as, more tabular table-based data when interacting with it. We added a couple new visualizations as well for dashboards, explorations, stories, box plot, and radar. You see them on the screen. There's some new homepage customization options. Quite a few performance improvements. That was a big focus area. These are primarily targeted at dashboards, Cognos dashboards, and a special use case the team was working on improving was the first-time access. When a user first access Cognos, like a Cognos dashboard, there's some warm-up activity and also some JavaScript files get downloaded through the browser. So the team worked hard to make that responsiveness that much better. We also have a first, what we're calling Watson moment. What a Watson moment is a AI implementation where the AI automated or suggested something pretty exceptional that we're using a bit of that Watson branding to highlight, and especially if it's a situation where the user needs to confirm or decline what's being suggested to them, we'll be using a bit of that Watson branding on that. And what you should expect is over time, as we infuse more AI into Cognos Analytics, to make it easier to get your answers and develop content, expect to see more of this Watson branding to emphasize those exceptional AI capabilities. Now, with that said, let me show you a bit of what 11.2.0 looks like. So here I am in I'll go full screen, in what the out-of-the-box 11.2.0 looks like. So if you go to the About, you can see it is 11.2.0. I'm emphasizing out of the box because the Cognos user interface is very customizable. You can apply your own branding and logos. Many environments don't even have the word Cognos in them. So, if you define that in 11.1 or 11.0, those will upgrade. It'll look like what you have now. It won't look like this. But if you do a brand new installation of Cognos or connect to our trial when it gets updated for 11.2.0, it'll look like this. We put a lot of effort into the onboarding experience of Cognos. So great little overview video you can link to right from here. A good little accelerators explain some of the key activities you would do in Cognos. Other get started content to make it easier for users who are new to Cognos, to learn how to meet their goals as quickly as possible. You can access recent content here, just like you could on the home page before. Oh, I should mention that there are a lot of new customization options. So here, if I go into my account settings and then go into profile and settings, you'll see all the same options we had in in 11.1. They're all here. We haven't taken anything away. So including you can control how the AI learns. And if you go into settings, you'll see some new options. For example, if you don't want the welcome banner, now it's gone. Some other options as well for an administrator to configure on behalf of their users. For those who did customize a homepage, so today user logs in and sees like a dashboard or a special HTML page, those will continue to be there. We did hear from customers who do that hey, there's no way to access our recents. Well, now there is. If you look at this open menu, the hamburger menu at the top left corner, you'll see recents is right here. So an easy way to access your content. You can also go new and create all the types of content you could in 11.1. Like I said, we haven't taken away anything. Even legacy interfaces like Event Studio, Analysis Studio, Query Studio, they would be available here under the other applications. if you've configured them for your users, that's how they could be accessed. What should I show you? You can go to content here and browse through my content, team content, and this is where you could configure different folders, for example, samples or different ones to appear as tabs here if your users have some particular go-to folders they want. You may have noticed already that search is right here on the top black bar that's at the top, so it's everywhere. It used to be in 11.1 in the top left corner, so you could say things like, you know, if you're searching for risk events, you could type it in here. You get a full page of search results back with the matching content here. You can still zero in on specific types of data you're looking for. And see that content there. Search used to be just a single panel of results. A lot of the Carbon design system is more full screen, you know, views of the content there. So that's what we've shifted to. You know, if you were to actually open one of these things in say a data module here, you know, it's pretty much the same set of features. I don't think you'll be disoriented with this new version. The interfaces for creating content have updated a little bit, but you know, it's all still there. Here, if I were to close this one, and I'll show you creating a new exploration with that. So let's choose this option here. Creating explorations are great for, you know, you don't quite know what you're looking for, but you're hoping to uncover a trend or pattern in the data that can lead to better decision making. So here it says, you know, where do you want to get started? I'm accessing some risk data I've connected to. So the first thing it shows you, just like in previous versions of Cognos, is this relationship diagram where the software identifies the most significant correlations detected in the underlying data, focused on the target that you selected on the previous screen. So what it's telling me is, you know, these bubbles represent some of the columns and some of the tables I've connected to, and the thickness of the lines are proportional to the strength of the correlation that's detected. You can start selecting these on the right, these visualizations, which you can think of as next steps that the AI is recommending. You can analyze one of these and see the natural language insights on the right. So those are statistical details presented as natural language statements. You can also interact with the system using natural language. I'm just highlighting a few of these natural language capabilities because they're really key to our roadmap. So you can say, what's the net loss for and it'll give you a response, often as a form of data, which you can then update and ask questions. You can even say, you know, add a filter in 2019. And we're actually, the team have done a lot of work on improving filter support in this natural language assistant. Some of that's landing in 11.2.1, not in 11.2.0. But you can see it here. Now, I know we have 11 minutes left, and I do want to leave time for Q&A, but I also want to show you what's coming beyond 11.2.0 as well. So like I said, we're going to have 11.2.1, 11.2.2, each of those introducing many more improvements. So our vision for Cognos Analytics is to be your AI co-pilot with an integrated, easy to manage, extensible data and analytics platform. What you can think of the Cognos software is, you know, assisting your business users running their business and giving them superpowers, allowing them to be faster and smarter about their business decisions, see further into the trends and patterns, and be more confident about the decisions that get made. So let me jump through a few of these things quickly. This one, we released an initial prototype. It's available for 11.1.7 through the IBM Accelerator catalog. You can upload it as an extension into your Cognos server. We're working on making this a native capability in 11.2.1. Basically, you can, using machine learning, you can enter change the variables of some of the drivers of one of your performance target, or say what change you want in one of your KPIs. And the system will use machine learning to tell you what are the drivers of that target, what values do they need to be at, or will they be at if you change some of its values. We're working on integrating the AI system Cognos with other chatbots, including those you may configure with Watson Assistant, such that when the user asks a question, the response may come from either service. It could, if it's a question of data, I'd expect to see a response from the Cognos AI itself. And if it's a question on some other subject matter, like what you see here, answers information about COVID-19, that's coming from Watson Assistant. So the idea is through a single interface, you can have a number of different conversational agents responding to the user, giving them information, and each of them are trained on different subject matter. We also have some great forecasting in Cognos. Today, the forecasting in Cognos, it's time series forecasting, but it's univariate, meaning it's going to look at the historical trends of the one measure of values. So just the prior points in a line chart, for example, and project a future values, forecasted values based on those historical values. What multivariate means is it's going to consider a number of variables, maybe a number of different metrics you have, the drivers, for example, of a target, and apply all of those to project future values for that target. So it's a more holistic, more accurate forecast that can be generated. Another thing we're working on for a future release of Cognos beyond 11.2.0 as well. Some data profiling capabilities where you can see some key metrics around a selected object in one of your data sources, as well as see what semantic concepts, what ideas has the AI associated with that object in your data, that column in a table, for example. And talking about concepts, to be able to update the AI's vocabulary with your own concepts, your own. We know businesses run on jargon, abbreviations, and acronyms. IBM's probably worse than most organizations with that when it comes to acronyms. And we want the AI, especially for natural language, to be able to understand this jargon that is how your business operates on. So to be able to add new concepts into the system, and in addition, supplementing the concepts that the system already understands, like location, cost, money, time. These things are already there. We're going to surface it up so you can see them. Enter your own concepts, including defining what are other ways, synonyms that users may refer to the same concept. Which concepts tend to relate to another, maybe concept A and concept B get compared a lot, so we could automate visualizations that facilitate those concepts, those comparisons when we encounter those concepts in data. Interestingness to just help the AI understand how likely should it be in recommending data that's associated with these concepts, and are higher values good or bad. That way, if a user says, I want to improve X, we know what direction to go in. So these things get defined independently of data. And then if you're now connecting to hundreds of other data sets later, different data warehouses and whatnot, those same concepts flow in and get associated automatically. Another way to train the AI for your business is to associate groups of users with saved dashboards on the system. So folders of saved content, and the AI will learn, from what it discovers in those dashboards, what combinations of items tend to go well together, which subset of fields from a data source are the most important to show, what types of visualizations are these users most interested in, and eventually things like color palettes and layout specifications. A lot we can learn from saved dashboards to optimize the experience for different groups of users. What I'm going to show you right now is how we're also going to take some of those AI capabilities and natural language I showed you that are releasing in 11.2.0, take them to the next level in, you know, what we expect to be in 11.2.2, 11.2.3, etc. So login isn't changing. We would like you to give you the option to have visualizations appear on each user's homepage. We wouldn't change if you've configured your homepage to be something else, but you could have, for example, pin boards, which can be currently defined through our mobile experience. Those visualizations for different groups of users appear on the homepage with the AI supplementing them with natural language. And we're going to be seeing a lot more natural language in a second. You'll still be able to create Cognos content through the traditional means. But where I showed you in 11.2.0, that bar at the top was just a search bar. It's just going to search for, you know, saved content that matches the terms you entered. This is where after 11.2.0, we're going to be infusing the AI assistant there as well. So if what the user inputs, types in, looks like it's a question about data, you know, why are my sales this or that, we would treat it as that. And what you see here is what you can consider a full screen view of the AI assistant. Basically, it's still that kind of panel experience where you can have an exchange, a conversation with the AI back and forth. But there's a preview area for some of the visualizations of those responses up on the left, where there's enough room for some of those natural language explanations, data stories to give you know, more information to the user. This is what we see as the future of business intelligence. It's visualizations and natural language side by side together. Visualizations are great at resonating some trends and patterns, but natural language for emphasizing key takeaways. So what you see on the screen is, you know, on the right, that panel, a preview area with natural language, and some suggested next steps, kind of like what I showed you in the exploration below. The two sides are connected. So as you're interacting, maybe those next steps, as you're asking new questions on the panel, those next steps update, you'll be able to drag and drop or click a button to move one of the responses, any response from the panel to that preview area on the right, where there'll be more of a natural language explanation accompanying it. If you want to share it with your colleagues, we'll use the same kind of share experience we have in Cognos today around taking a screenshot that you can annotate with the natural language could be included in the body of the email. You could also choose to save what you see here on the screen, which is like a transient screen. You can ask a question anywhere through the top bar at the top, but you could choose an option to save it as a dashboard. What you're looking here on the screen is a Cognos dashboard. It's just the future of Cognos dashboards where there's natural language. So you'll still be, from saving this, you'll still be able to control the layout. You'll still be able to have all the same interactions and filtering on all the visualizations. We're just updating the Cognos widgets of a dashboard to allow you to incorporate natural language that the system will generate based on what it thinks is most insightful. Likewise, if a user's starting from a dashboard, rather than asking a question at the top, they could select a particular widget, open up the panel for the assistant would open up with that widget in context. User could enter a command or ask a question with the widget in context. So like add a filter to it, show it as a line chart, that type of thing. And then if you look at those arrows at the top, this is how you could graduate from engaging the assistant as just a panel to the full screen view I showed you before, where it has the visual and the natural language area in it as well. So some of the ideas we're working on for future innovation in Cognos. I know we're almost at the top of the hour, so this is where I'm going to answer any questions that got posted. Don, I can see now you're talking, but I couldn't hear that.
I went off mute, and there you go. Thank you. So a few different questions, Jason. There's a question about the industry accelerator catalog. When you go from 11, 1.7 to 11.2, is that going to still work?
Yeah. So on the IBM Accelerator catalog, you'll see there's a number of accelerators for Cognos. They would, each of those would have like a minimum Cognos version, but then when you upgrade your Cognos, like everything, upgrade successes are top priorities. So that content would upgrade as well. So for example, you downloaded a new custom visualization from the Accelerator catalog. You uploaded it into your Cognos 11.1 environment. When you upgrade that Cognos environment from 11.1 to 11.2, everything, including custom visualizations, will upgrade as well.
Okay. How about legacy applications like Query Studio? Will that still be available in 11.2?
They're in 11.2.0. We will remove them at some point. I think Query Studio will be the first one to be removed. I'm not sure when. I say it's the first one because users have the easiest time moving from Query Studio to something like dashboards, like I showed you for self-service. For some of them, reports is a better landing spot. We have been hearing from a lot of customers on Analysis Studio. We made a lot of progress in making our dashboards more cube friendly, but we know there's still some key features that they want, particularly around displaying the members in the tree. So that's one we're looking to introduce. And over time, when we get a good sense of confidence on upgrade success from the legacy interfaces to the more modern capabilities, then we'll be able to remove them, but not in 11.2.0. They're still there.
Okay. How, I'll try and go quickly here, because how should existing Cognos Analytics developers and business users prepare to use the AI modeling features, and what knowledge do we need to have? Should they be doing anything different now, building data modules in a specific way to support the future analysis?
Short answer is no. You don't need to do anything in a specific way. All else being equal, your successful interactions with the AI will be better chance for success if there's less data and less ambiguity. All else being equal, right? If you're working with the assistant with 500 tables, there's more chance things can go wrong than if you're working with 5 tables, for example. But that doesn't mean you model the data differently. You should be, generally speaking, modeling the bare minimum to answer all the questions that need to be answered. So that's true whether you're using the AI or not. When we introduce that concept model in a future version of Cognos, that's where you could really do some AI-specific preparation. Now, that was independent of data, right? What I showed you, introducing new terms to the AI. But that's where you'll start, applying best practices that are really geared at the AI rather than just for fast data access in general.
Super. I have one more question, but maybe Annie, you can switch from Jason to me for being the presenter. And then Jason, your last question, is 11.2 a new install, or can it be installed over the existing? And are there changes in architecture?
No changes in architecture. Honestly, the biggest things in 11.2.0 is just really the UI update, the user experience. So you can still install on top. If you had if you did an upgrade from one version of 11.1 to another version of 11.1, this would be similar, pretty much identical. So it does support install on top.
Super. Thank you very much, Jason. Any other questions, we'll capture them and try and get them out via email. And so thank you for that. I'd like to finish up in the last, keep us exactly on schedule to finish by 5 after the hour, which is 1 more minute. I'd like to make those of you aware of some upcoming training and events that LPA is holding. We've had a very successful time for our clients doing this half-day workshop on version 11.1.7, where you actually sign in and get one of our leaders, usually Rich Chester, one of our Cognos leaders, walk you through version 11.1.7, a lot of the features and functions, and you're actually, doing exercises. So if you're not on 11.1.7 yet, if you're back in some previous version, this is a great way to get experience. We've done this about 5 or 6 times, and the sessions fill up very quickly, and we limit them to 20 folks per session, so that the instruction goes well. So that's coming up on March 19th. You can see at the bottom, you can go to our webpage to register for the event. We are also, because of the success of that type of training, we're going to run on April 9th and May 14th a similar type of hands-on training, data modules and dashboards and stories. We, of course, offer full-day and multi-day training on all these that are paid training classes. So these are kind of shorter versions to whet your appetite, but because they're hands-on, they're a lot more effective than just being a PowerPoint slide or just a YouTube webinar. So we like to do this for our clients and our potential clients. So come sign up. Like I say, space is limited. When sessions fill up, we know they're popular. We often will schedule another one. Last chart. And like I say, we'll send this presentation out afterwards, or it'll be posted on our website. This lists all the presenters and their email addresses, so you can reach out. And then, of course, you're always welcome to contact me at any time, any day or night, cell phone, email. We're here to serve our clients, and we're happy you all attended. And I'd like to offer a very, very special thanks to Mr. Chet Phelps, the CIO of Health Solutions, who graciously shared his successes with others so that hopefully others can have some further Cognos successes. Thank you, everybody, and I think that's it. We'll sign off now, and Annie, I'll wait for you to sign off the WebEx.
And just a
Thank
quick,
you all.
oh, just a quick note. Thank you, LPA, for sponsoring. This has been a great meeting. It's always awesome whenever we team with you guys. So thank you very, very much.
Appreciate that, Eva.